Hi everyone, welcome back to Life Notes with Priyanka. So today I want to talk about something which I have been thinking lately, and then I'm working on it. So why is choosing health often treated as punishment and it's not fun, and then we are controlling our controlling our life, not living life? So why do people assume that if you are avoiding excess sugar or eating mindfully, strength training, or just trying to improve your health, you're somehow not living your life, not enjoying your life? And why do people feel offended when we say no to some food? This topic became deeply personal uh, after I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes. I remember looking at the report and thinking, how is this even possible? Because I'm 10 and then I looked healthy. Pre-diabetes at this age, isn't that something which we have to worry after the 60s? The diagnosis forced me to stop and look honestly at my habits, my lifestyles, my relationships with food, and and uh, and how the food changed over the years. And when I look back, I realized the story started, much earlier. As I said earlier, I grew up in a small village. When I think about childhood, I realize how different our food environment was. Most of the meals were homemade, uh, vegetables were seasonal, and pulses were local. Even the oil we used was different. My father used to grow sunflowers. We would take the harvested seeds to a local mill and get oil extracted for our family. And the leftover sunflower cake could be used as animal feed. At the time, none of these things felt special. We weren't trying to eat healthy or following any nutrition plan, and we simply ate what was available at the time. And looking back, it was mostly real food. There weren't any food delivery apps, there weren't dozen of snacks options, and there weren't any new dessert trend every week. Life was simpler and food was simpler, and strangely I don't remember constantly thinking about food. I had more energy, I spent time outdoors, I played, I walked. I rarely complained about being tired, or I rarely felt sick. Since there were fewer choices, but somehow there was less confusion. Then I moved to the city for my higher studies. Suddenly, I was surrounded by things, that were once occasional treats, like once in a month or once in 2 months, like fast food, ice cream, bakery items, and deep fried snacks. Foods that were rare became available every day, everywhere you see, near my college, near my home. But during those years, the impact wasn't huge because my lifestyle still was active. Like I cycled to college and I walked regularly, and I still ate home cooked food for many of my meals. And I felt there was a balance. And then the biggest shift, what happened was later, and I moved to hostel and then eventually into PG while working. You know, convenience started replacing the routine. And something else also changed. For the first time in my life, I started earning my own money. The freedom I had, the independence, and with that came a new kind of freedom. Like I said, every craving suddenly became easy to fulfill. Like if I want to eat ice cream, I can go get ice cream. If I wanted a fast food, I can just go and get it, or I could order it. No planning, no waiting, no limits. And because everyone around me was also doing the same thing, it felt normal. It didn't feel anything weird. And nobody questioned it. In fact, it was part of the culture. ordering food after work and celebrating with the desserts, weekend treats becoming regular habits, and slowly, I stopped prioritizing homemade food. I felt, it's boring. So it just happened, like one choice at a time and one meal at a time, and 1 year also. So that's the thing about habits, right? They usually don't change overnight. They change quietly without we even notice, until those habits become very difficult to change over the years. Then I met my husband, and honestly, that was the biggest turning points in my life about how I viewed my health. For the first time, I think I saw someone who approached food with balance and discipline. Not obsession, like not restriction per se, but not fear also. Just balance. He wasn't starving himself, he wasn't enjoying food, he wasn't just counting calories. But he understood something I was still learning. Every choice matters. So, not because, one meal will change your life, right? Because repeated choices become habits, and habits become your lifestyle. Through him, I started understanding that healthy eating isn't a punishment. It's not about saying no to everything you enjoy. It's not about, living your life on just salads. And it's not about you making yourself a promise to not eat any sweets again. It's about just creating a lifestyle that's going to support your health instead of uh, working against you. So that realization changed everything for me, because somewhere along the way, uh, I feel we started believing that the health and enjoyments are opposite. They cannot be in the same plate. And you know that's what I thought, like if you want to be healthy, then you have to punish yourself. And I don't think that's true. I think we are confused excess with enjoyment. We are confused with constant indulge of happiness, and then you just want to do more to feel happy. We are confused about discipline being suffering, and then because people often react strangely when someone chooses health. If you avoid sweets, people think you are dieting, and if you order a healthier meal, people think you are being restrictive. And if you say no to second serving, people worry you are not enjoying your life. And I understand where some of that comes from, especially in Indian families, right? Food is often an expression of love, and when parents offer food, they're offering with care, love, affection. And when relatives come and insist you to eat more, they usually mean well. Their intentions aren't bad. When someone brings sweet, and then they just want to share their happiness with everyone. And I really understand that, I get it. But choosing health is not rejecting love and their care, affection, and then I'm not disrespecting them. This is something I had to learn, because for a long time I felt very guilty. Guilty, so saying no, guilty for not eating when everyone else was eating, and guilty for disappointing people, not being part of their happiness. But eventually I had to ask myself a very difficult question. If I keep saying yes to make everyone happy, who deals with the consequences? Who is gonna live with this health condition, health issues, and then this pre-diabetics, and then this fatigue, with low energy, no motivation? Who is gonna deal with long-term complications? The answer was very simple. It's me. Not the relatives insisting I eat one more sweet, or not my friends telling me to live a little. Not the person saying, one bite won't hurt. It's actually me. That's when I started looking at a self-care differently. You know, so today self-care is often marketed as vacations, spa days, shopping trips, and then facials or manicures and pedicures. And those things can be, absolutely enjoyable, and you have to do it. But I don't think self-care starts only with those, starts there. I think self-care starts with the choices we make as a person every single day. What we eat, what we do, the sleep we get, uh, the walks we take, and then the strength sessions we don't feel like doing, and then even the water, uh, and the habits we are repeating daily. Those small choices may not look, very exciting on social media, and they're often one of the most powerful acts of self respect, according to me. Because you know real self care is not always comfortable, right? And sometimes it means saying no, it means being different, and it means sometimes disappointing others, and also it means choosing your long term health over short term approval. And definitely that takes courage, right? That you will be not liked, and then people will feel bad, and then you will be disappointed, and that takes a lot of courage. And today I no longer see healthy eating is a diet, and then I'm gonna do it for a month and then forget about it. I see it as a lifestyle I'm gonna carry forward. It's my habits, it's my lifestyle, and then I don't believe, I have to be perfect. I just started, I do it, and then I want to continue. And I don't believe that, never having dessert is gonna solve my uh, issues. And then, and also fearing about food. If we eat this food, what's gonna happen? But I feel, living mindful, balancing the food is more important than restricting yourself. I do believe that, taking care of health is one of the greatest gift we can give to our future selves. As I said earlier, if you have felt, if you might have felt guilty, for choosing healthier options, I just want to remind you of something. You are not being difficult. You're not missing out on life. You're not, rejecting other people's love. You're simply taking responsibility for your health, yourself, and that is something to be respected, not mocked or not made fun of. Because choosing health is not punishment, it's an act of self-respect. Thank you so much for sending these, few minutes with me. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember that the small choices you make today become the life you live tomorrow. I'll see you in the next episode.